Hello Internet, so nice to see you! Today we're gonna talk about how to solo on the chord progression of the Imperial March from Star Wars. Now, I'm not gonna actually do the full complete chord progression because it's really complex. I'm gonna just take the first two chords, which are the most characteristic, if you want. And those two chords are A minor, F minor. So it's simply A minor, F minor, A minor, F minor. Those two chords are not in the same key, so we will need to change key while we solo on it. Now, where does this chord progression come from? That's an example of what music theorists would call a chromatic mediant modulation, or simply a chromatic mediant. The name is really complex, but the actual substance is not particularly complex, and if you want to know more about it, I would recommend you guys take my course Complete Chord Mastery that will tell you everything there is about this and practically every other possible chord progression. Today though, we focus on how to solo on it. Now, before we proceed, of course, we also need to say another thing, and it's this, is that John Williams, the guy who composed the soundtrack for Star Wars, is not the first to come up with this idea. The very first time this chord progression was used, as far as I know, was by Wagner in Das Rheingold. This sounds pretty modern for being an opera composed in the 19th century. Anyway, we have this chord progression made by the chords A minor, F minor. And the problem here is that the A minor chord is A, C, E, and the F minor chord is F, A flat, C. And this A flat that causes problem in having those two chords fit together. There is no scale that will fit both chords. So we need to change the scale when we play on those two chords, and the number of possible options is staggering, it's mind-boggling. There are hundreds of possible combinations of scale that will work on those two chords. The first option you should try is to simply play the arpeggio of the chords. So on the A minor chord, you play the A minor arpeggio, and on the F minor chord, you play the F minor arpeggio. Try, on the other hand, to not just play the arpeggio up and down, sweep picking style, because it will not work really well. So, I mean, if you just do... It will not sound really well. I mean, we can try. I mean, it's okay, the note sounds in, but it's not really musical. So let's try to break up those arpeggios and play something that is more interesting. Nothing really special, just moving those arpeggios up and down. Second option you want to try is just a little step up in complexity. On A minor we play the A minor pentatonic, which is just a couple of notes extra respect to the A minor arpeggio. And on F minor we play the F minor pentatonic. Very simple, very basic. I suggest, as usual, you start slow. You don't try to shred on this progression immediately. It's fun to shred on it, I know, but sit down, slow it down, hear those notes. Don't just try to play as much as you can. Just choose 1, 2, 3 notes, take it slow, make it more melodic. Very easy, very basic, very slow. Next option, up in complexity. We want to see what happens if you play the A minor scale, the full diatonic A minor scale on A minor, and the full diatonic F minor scale on F minor. It's not my favorite combination on those two chords, but it sounds fairly okay. It's not the smoothest possible option, but it's okay. A better, smoother option would be to play the A natural minor on A minor and the F melodic minor on the F minor. Why so? Because the A natural minor, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The F minor, it's F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F. There are 4 flats in it. But if I play the F melodic minor, then I have F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E, F. So the D flat becomes a D, the E flat becomes an E, and I have only 2 notes of difference respect to the A natural minor. So I have more notes in common, less note change, and the change is a bit smoother. This is how this will sound. As you can hear, the change between those 2 scales, it's a bit smoother because I need to change only 2 notes between the 2 scales. Of course, I still need to hit the chord tones whenever I playing on A minor and F minor to make sure that the whole solo sounds in and I'm not just playing random notes. Those are just 2 possible options to soloing over this chord progression. But if you take into account all the modes of the major scale, all the modes of the harmonic minor, all the modes of the melodic minor, and all the other scales like augmented scales and diminished scale, etc., you'll see very soon that there are hundreds of possible options. And if you want to learn all those possible options and how to use them and go in a gradual way from being able to play the scales in a simple way to more complex way in which we take into account also arpeggios and pentatonic scales and creative options, I do suggest you give a look at my course, Master of the Modes. This is the course you're looking for, where we go from how to think about the modes so you won't get confused, on how to orient yourself on the fretboard so you won't get lost when you play, up to creativity exercise, improvisation, how to use those modes, what are the arpeggios in those modes and how to use them, what are the pentatonics that works like those modes and how to use them, etc. And if you like this video, click on that like button or smash it if you want, I won't hold it against you. And if you like this channel, subscribe to it and don't forget to hit on notification so that YouTube will send you a notification whenever I put up a new video. This is Tommaso Zillia of musictheoryforguitar.com, and until next time, enjoy. Anyway, where we go from thinking, where we go from